Hello and welcome to Number Nine Talk. I know I've been away for a while. I just want to welcome into my stream. Be dunil. He's here. How are you, mate?
All good, all good. I've just been for a couple of mile run earlier with coupled with a couple of mile walk, so feel better.
Yeah, good lad, good lad. Right, so looking back, excuse me, we're messing around. Welcome. It's starting off the season. How did you feel before the West Ham game? Did you feel any? You really feel up for this. Something's going to be happening here.
Yeah, I thought, clean slate, new season, you know, hopefully we can carry on where we left off last season. Started the game well, great ball in, near post header off Callum Wilson. But then it was a bit like a batting collapse. Second half, they just collapsed. And I did feel sorry for young Freddie Woodman. He was not given, he was literally thrown under the bus by the defence.
Yeah, that's been a problem for a while. Our defence has been shuffled that many times.
Yeah,
I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think Bruce knows what he's doing. I don't think even Graham Jones. Everyone's going. He's our messiah. He's the guy that's getting us the points here, and even he looks clueless.
Yeah, to be honest, there's the way I look at it, how things have started. It's a case of poor preparation has equaled poor performances, as the old saying goes. I'll not use the rude word. Poor preparation leads to poor performance, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, it's exactly right, mate.
Oh. You still there?
Sorry about that. I'm just having a few technical problems.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. TV program, TV channels have them, so hey.
Should have one of them, banners come up. Having technical difficulties.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, and as I say, what are they doing on the training ground? Is one question I'd like to ask. Are they working on different scenarios? Your set players, your defending from corners, or is it a case of once they've had a lapse of the training pitch, here we go, lads, have a game? But hey, only they know. We'll never know.
No, and that's the problem there. We don't get any information. We don't get any communication from the club at all. Yeah. The last thing we got was from Ashley was to say he's fighting tooth and nail for this takeover, but that's all we've had. We've not had hats. Keep a hold of your hats. We're doing this, we're doing that. We get nothing.
The communication from the club is poor. I have to admit that. And I mean, I just applied for membership this season because I'll just go to the odd game. I won't go to every game because all of my family's grown up. I would describe myself as eclectic. I like to do other things. I don't like my life dominated by just one thing. But it's the stuff still hasn't come through. I don't know what they're doing there. I mean, either they've got the Christmas elves doing it or something. I don't know, but I will email them at some point and ask what's happening. But yeah, the fans have been made mugs out of. That's all I will say. Yeah. And I think enough's enough. Totally. Time for all fan groups to come together. Don't be at each other's necks. All this cyberbullying and all that. Come together and say, right, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And
Do it. I mean, looking at the, like I said, with pre-season as well, things looked doom and gloom, and things looked, oh, here we go again. But I was happy enough to be a part of the game at Norwich at
yeah,
home.
can you just give me
The last
one
one.
second there, Dom?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll carry on while he's on the phone. I was there at Norwich for the home game, for the final game, and I felt quite good about it. I thought we looked dynamic and good, but you look at West Ham. It's been it wasn't dire. I mean, but we're playing some really good stuff and playing some forward balls, but the defense collapsed in my eyes. The defense totally collapsed, and then you've got Woodman who's been thrown in. Is our goalkeeper, and to be fair, the lad he's done pretty well. But look at the goals we've had that have been conceded. There's not many of them we could have done much about. Looking at the one against Villa, what an overhead kick that was! We couldn't do anything about that at all. But looking on, we've got to be doing better. We've got to be doing more for the team. It's not just individuals on a pitch. We're looking at St. Maximin. It was, well, could you call him mercurial?
Yeah,
you could call him mercurial, but he's a player that we all want. He's a player we all want to turn up on a match day and watch.
yeah.
Just because he's exciting, he gets bums off seats, he gets people shouting and screaming, "Come on, let's go, let's do something!" And then eventually, it all comes to nothing, and
Yeah.
that has been a big problem. Is his coaching any better than what it was last year?
Nope.
He's a good player, and we can't take that away from him. And if we sold him, we should get upwards of 50, maybe 60 million pounds for him.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
if we did, would that money then go back in the club? And that is the big problem. And every time I ask that question, every time, even if it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook, I will ask, if we sold St. Maximin for 70 million and that money went back into the club, would people say, yes, that's fine? But then they go, but it won't be.
Yeah, exactly. Go into the Mike Ashley pension fund more like than than the club, and also the thing is, if it did go back into the club, yeah, it's got to be spent on the right players. Not because if you remember under McLaren, we bought some decent players, but McLaren didn't have a clue how to coach them. It's a bit like give Bruce 70, 80 million, right? He will not buy the right players because, first of all, he doesn't have a clear philosophy of how he wants to play football.
No.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. Bruce is even looking. Someone put in a picture up on Twitter earlier on. I think it was John Sinclair.
Oh yeah,
and he put the picture up, and it's Bruce standing away with his arms closed.
That's bad.
And all the players standing around each other, and I'm thinking, hold on, you're the manager. You're the one that's supposed to be riling these players up.
Yeah.
You're the ones that are supposed to be, come on, lads, we can do this. You can now do that because we've seen a weakness.
Yeah.
So let's exploit it. And he just doesn't. He just closes his arms and goes, "I'll let you get on with it."
Yeah, well, that's poor on my book. I mean, what's his face? I know they've got lots of money, etc. But you wouldn't see Pep Guardiola do that. He'd be straight in the middle, and he'd be giving it that. Giving it plenty of that. That this is what I want you to do. I mean, there's a manager who's won everything under the sun, but he still has that ethic of motivating these players to get better, to always perform week in, week out.
Yeah.
And Bruce, no, I mean, you can tell, I mean, with Bruce, it's when we got him in to be manager, it was a case of, it was like buying something in the closing down sale. It was like a closing down sale job. We got the last one on the shelf and he was it. And we ended up with him. All the best stuff had gone. Excuse me. He was the last one left. But yeah, no, it's worrying. I know one man who can, there's only one man I feel can come in and change in terms of managerial wise. And that's Eddie Howe, because of the Bournemouth connection, right? That is the one who needs to be in there, because he'll bring fresh ideas, new ideas, and he'll get the best out of Wilson, and obviously get a few more things out of Richie as well. And he'll play Richie in his right position.
Yeah. I mean, there was a video on YouTube of Eddie Howe, and I think it was with Sky Sports or BT Sports, something like that.
Yeah.
And he explained how he went about to beat, when he was at Bournemouth, to beat Chelsea at the time, and Chelsea were doing really well.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I thought, wow, this guy really knows his onions. He knows how to get the best out of players and the best position to play players as well.
Yeah.
Why aren't we? Well, why haven't we just gone, see you later, Bruce? You're just doing nothing, and we'll get in Eddie Howe, because it will do the club good, even for a tight arse like Mike Ashley. It's got to make sense, because you've got to look after your investment, even though he's just gone like that and wipe his hands of the club. He's still got to look after it, and he's still, he doesn't want to lose that money that he could potentially, given September or early next year, potentially get.
Yeah.
Because that price has already been agreed. But if he doesn't sit there and go, well, we're just going nowhere here, and we've got this happening, and you've got to put more into this, and the fans then will actually, well, not get behind you, but they will actually appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, I quite agree with you, Dom. Yeah, absolutely. You will get them on side, albeit for a short period of time, when this change happens. And as you say, a lot of people say, if God forbid we end up going into the EFL, okay, first of all, he won't get 300 million quid. Nobody will pay 300 million quid for a championship club.
No.
And say it did get approved under EFL rules, then you've got to go through all the rigmarole again, should they get promoted, of the owners and directors test. And as another caveat to that, there's no guarantee that should we parachute downwards this time, that we'll come back up at the first attempt, because as we all are aware from watching our time watching football, the Championship is a very difficult league to get out of. It is not a given. Everybody beats everybody in that.
I mean, it's probably the only time that Mike Ashley's actually put his hands in his pockets.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, when we had Rafa, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was the only time we spent to get out of the division. But then we spent to get out of the division, but we didn't spend to try and push on in this division.
Yeah. At least, well, even you can look and say, he's not done much to consolidate. In the Premier League, really. I mean, it's just penny pinching all the way. I mean, you look, he's brought in Joe Willock for 25 million quid. Yeah. But that just then puts us where we exactly were at the end of the last season.
Yeah, exactly.
So it needs a bit more investment, surely.
Yeah, exactly. I think the structure of the board to me looks a bit pear-shaped as well, in the sense that there isn't, I've never bothered. First of all, like you, I'm a fan of football. I really couldn't give two hoots about what goes on off the pitch at times, because I think it's boring. It gets tiring. But like PSG, they've got Leonardo who looks after all sporting. Well, who's their sporting director? Looks after their footballing affairs. Newcastle, if they'd used the noggin here, should have bought somebody in. I don't know, Peter Beardsley or a former legend to become like a sporting director who knows the game, who helps the scouting network to see, who works in transition, works hand in hand with the manager, with the scouting crew as to what reinforcements are needed. I mean, if from what I read, and obviously when Ashley first came in, there were scouting players on YouTube. Scouting technology don't help with scouting. You have to be at the place to look at the player, see how he moves, see his movement, see his attitude, his temperament.
Yeah.
YouTube don't show that, But it's.
Well, Keegan said that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Keegan said he doesn't just look at quality in a player; he looks at how his temperament is. Whether he's worthy of pulling on the black and white shirt, and he will also be grateful to pull on that black and white shirt.
Yeah, but, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
you look at many of the players that we've signed over the years. Some have, some haven't. Some have played for themselves. Some have played for the club, but they've been very quickly forgotten.
Yeah. Absolutely. And fans know when a player is just there for the spondoolies and doesn't care about the shirt. I mean, I was just saying to my son there before, loyalty in football now, it don't exist. They don't give a monkeys. They're bothered about that,
Yeah. It's all about the money now, isn't it? That's all it is.
The only ones that enjoy football are the group of workmates who get together for the five-a-side, or those kids that play for their local grassroots team on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. Those are the ones who enjoy the game properly, as it should be enjoyed. I mean, I've been lucky enough to be involved in grassroots football, and I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed it.
Well, it's always good to turn up, say South Shields, North Shields, Gateshead, Newcastle Blue Star. They're all them, and they need also investment in themselves as well.
Yeah.
And the only way they get investment is fans turning up. Really, they don't get mega £1 million deals, and they need that love as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've been
trying
to get my cousin. I've been trying to get my son. He said, no, I want to go to Premiership.
Yes. I mean, you look at Newcastle now, it's not even investment anymore. It's just a club standing there trying to do its best.
Yeah.
Really, it's rudderless, it's captainless, it's managerless. The list goes on, and it all becomes the way us fans feel. Is it's going nothing but south at the moment, and we just don't have that spark of going to a match and feeling excited. You don't feel positive. You don't feel any hope at all, because you just know. I mean, I was watching a video earlier on Twitter. Someone had taken their kid to the game for the first time, and it was against Aston Villa. No, it wasn't. It was the Burnley game. And so excited, but then it gets down to it, and he says, "Look, we always lose," and that's the mentality now. And that's the way we go into games. We just sit there, even if we want to go there because we want to have a few beers with mates, we want to have a bit of crack with the friends and some of the other fans, but we'll sit there and we'll just go, "We're going to lose."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. There's no, unlike under the days of the entertainers, we should think, well, how many's Cole going to get today? How many's Ferdinand going to get today? How many Shearer going to get today? Now it's like, well, how many are they going to put past us today?
Yeah, that's the sad reality.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I know I've got cousins down south who support as far as I'm concerned, they're glory hunters. Probably never been to stadium in their life. I can say I've been to St James's Park, so I cannot call myself. I cannot be in that minority of glory hunters. But as I say, football goes in cycles, and I'm still hopeful. It's happened with Rangers. Look where they were. I know it was a different scenarios with the financial irregularities, but things turned on its head. Got Gerrard in, and they've usurped Celtic and become top dogs. I know that's a bit of a Mickey Mouse tin pot league down there, but they're back up there amongst the higher echelons of the game, and that's where we should be.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be a laughing stock. We should be up there, and I think the top and bottom of it is the hierarchy at our club do not get the club what it's all about. To them, it's just a fruit machine, and they press nudge, and ka-ching, it happens. They don't get that. Basically, what Ashley didn't get was when he bought it in 2007, that what he was buying was not just a football club. It's part of Northeast culture, where going to the match has been handed down through the generations, and different generations of one family have gone to the match as a tradition.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But the thing is, it's if we work all week, we do Monday to Friday, whatever, we put in the hours Monday to Friday. Yeah. Saturday is for football.
Yeah,
and that's what it's for.
Yeah.
And you go to the game and you want to be entertained. You want to be, have that feeling of a crowd and that feeling of excitement. And then, maybe you might get one on a Sunday, Monday, whatever. But it's the way things are in the Northeast. If Newcastle United do well on a Saturday, you'll have a great working week. You love it.
Yeah.
But if they lose, you're down. And that's the be all end all of it. It is the centre of everything in Newcastle City Centre. It is the lifeblood, the breath of that city.
Absolutely, it is. It is. I mean, I myself was born down south, but obviously until I haven't got that accent because I wasn't down there for long enough, and moved up here in '78. Lived here now for 43 years, and I've, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Geordie citizen. End of. I'm what's it called, naturalized Geordie, and the people here are salt of the earth, down to earth, lovely people. I've met them and there's some lovely people at the match as well. Okay, they get vociferous, but but when you go to a match, you do get vociferous when you're getting behind your team. But all in all, top fans, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as I say to people, if there was a Premier League table of football fans, we'd be winning it all the time. Because the others, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of them, in terms of like Man City, are either came with Mancini or came with Pep. A lot of the Man City fans. Yes, there are those who've seen the lows. I don't think of that, but a lot of and even some of the Liverpool fans, a lot of them won't. Fans will be new. They won't be from the Paisley or the Dalglish era, etc. A lot of them will have came with Klopp, etc. Yeah, but Newcastle fans, the genuine bona fide Newcastle fans have been through the likes of Joe Harvey, Gordon Lee, Arthur Cox, Bill McGarry, Willie McFall, Jack Charlton, and whoever else has come after. I know, and they are the ones who've seen the highs, seen the lows, and I suppose being a proper bona fide football fan is you support your club through the good times, and you also stay with them through the bad times. It is hard, especially as we feel now, staying through the bad times, but that is a bona fide football fan, which I feel that's all you guys who do the channels and like yourself, and that's what you are. Inside, when Newcastle get beat, you're hurting. You hate life. But it's therapeutic when you talk about it.
Oh, of course. I mean, look, I started it with this channel just because during lockdown, whatever
Yeah,
else, I just got bored and doing other things.
yeah,
But it's always been good, and it's actually been fun to talk to other fans. And all I've ever tried to do is to try and keep the faith, try and keep
yeah,
spirits up, trying
yeah,
to say to people, look, we'll be rid of Ashley eventually. That's a given.
yeah,
Newcastle United would live long on
yes,
after Ashley is gone.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
it's not the end of the world that he's our owner, but
yeah.
eventually he will be gone, and I'm convinced it will be very soon.
Yeah. I mean, just look at Chelsea. They had Ken Bates, yeah. If you remember
Yeah,
Ken Bates, yeah.
yeah.
He was
Sold
like,
the club for a quid.
yeah, and Abramovich, look where he's taken them. 2
Yeah.
Champions League titles, FA Cups. You know, they're all right, all right. They've bought their way to them trophies. I'll say that, but still, they've won trophies. You know, I think the only cups the Newcastle have had are the teacups they get in the hospitality suites, isn't
Oh, brilliant, mate, brilliant. I mean, you look at the likes of Chelsea and some of the teams that have gone on to win bigger things.
yeah,
Uh, in my heart, and I think it's been said by who was it on Sky Sports? Was it Gary Neville? He says, when was Newcastle ever smaller than Chelsea? When was Newcastle ever
yeah,
smaller than Manchester City? In his eyes, Newcastle was a bigger or is a bigger club than both
yeah,
teams.
yeah,
But they've gone on to surpass just
yeah,
because Ashley's just not been bothered
yeah,
to actually own a football club rather than just I'll buy a football club and then hope it does well.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I quite agree. Quite agree. And I think the transfer window is deadlines upon us shortly, isn't it? Tuesday, I think.
Yes,
Isn't it?
yes, that's the one. And can you see anyone else coming in?
Well, the only person I can see coming in is the tea lady for our usual shift, but
It's not Cristiano Ronaldo then.
no, 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 I don't think that's going to happen. I think we've got more chance of signing Ronald McDonald, Dom, than what you call that, than Cristiano Ronaldo. But no, obviously that is it. I mean, we'd love it to happen. I'm sure we'd all love it to happen, even if it was for a season. But we know that isn't going to happen. You know.
Well, I put it out as a tweet just as a joke, and
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I read it.
it blew up.
Yeah. No, no, it was good. Yeah, I'll say there's times like that you've got to have a laugh, you know. But best I can see in terms of the for Newcastle in terms of transfer deadline day, or as sometimes we like to call it, Tuesday. But it'll be a couple of loan deals. I think
Yeah.
that's the best we can hope for. There won't be any cash splashed.
Oh,
Or
no.
if anything,
I think he's already spent
somebody
his
will
goal.
go the other way in terms of out of
Yeah.
Newcastle and the other way. So, and case of hang on to your hats after that as to where we get to.
I mean, you can look at, that there is two windows, and I
Yeah,
always say we all scream and shout, let's sign people, let's sign people. But, you've got two windows there, you've got two opportunities.
yeah,
Um, you don't want to blow everything just on one
yeah,
window, but,
absolutely.
but at the same time, you still want to think, well, you've made an improvement in that window
Yeah,
to the squad. I mean, okay, you can say we brought in Willock. Yeah, great. But that just leaves us where we were last season,
yeah.
exactly where we were.
It's the
That's
same.
not exactly an improvement. That's just kind of getting you back on that even keel again.
Yeah, yeah,
That's, I reckon we still need another couple of players. Maybe, a defender who's got a bit of pace
yeah,
about him, a bit of
yeah,
muscle.
yeah, yeah.
And maybe another midfielder because our midfield
Mm.
can look a bit light on
Steel
its feet, and
need a
it always
steel
ends
in
up on its
midfield.
backside.
Yeah, need that bit of steel in midfield.
Yeah.
Somebody like a Mo Diarmi or somebody like that who, okay, he wasn't the most flamboyant, but when he won that ball, he made things happen.
Yeah. No, of course. Striker, I think we're okay for the minute. No, it's pretty tight. But you can still bring on maybe one of the youth players to to hang his hat on it. But I think that could be left till the January and look to see what's about in the January for a striker. But because we all know Wilson's a bit injury prone, maybe. And there's not that much else. I mean, you've got St. Maxim, you've got who can play number 10. Can he play number 9? Can he play up front in his own? I'm not too sure.
No. Yeah.
You've got Joe Linton, who, can he hit the cow's arse of the banjo, can he?
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, I don't think he'd be much good in the team darts competition, would he? It'd be no good him trying to finish on a double, would there?
No.
But Joe Linton, obviously, I think we all say there's a player in there, but that player, we ain't seen it.
No.
And the thing with Callum Wilson is, as well, in terms of up front, these, if from not just looking at guys who play off the shoulder, have hamstring problems, and that's their game in terms of running off the shoulder, getting in behind, movement. You had Owen, you had Callum. Once their hamstring starts to go away, then they ain't as effective a player as they should be. Once that hamstring starts to go, they start to lose that yard of pace. And what we should have as a striker is a plan B. Somebody holds the ball up and brings others into play. And there's one man out there, but they ain't going to go for him. Salomon Rondon is the man who could come in and do a job.
Well, of course, and as far as I know, he's got no contract underneath him, so he could be easily brought in.
Yeah, he, in my opinion, would be ideal to start building a partnership with Callum Wilson, like he did with Ayoze Perez when he was here. But I don't think, obviously, we got two hopes of that happening, Bob and no hope, actually, so it isn't. But other than
looking at the likes of Ayoze Perez, we sold him for, what was it, 30 million?
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
we
don't have an answer for that.
We shut up. We sold him for 30 million, and we all went, "Oh, that's a good bit of business." But it's even more bit of business because he's not done anything at Leicester, really, has he?
No, he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't. That's right. I think these big, 30 million. It's still in modern world compared to when you and I probably started watching the game. 30 million is mega money now. Back when we started watching the game, 5 million was regarded as a mega transfer. If you remember, Ruud Gullit, when he went from Eindhoven to AC Milan, I think he went for about 5 million, and then got beat again when Roberto Baggio went from, I think, was it Fiorentina to Juventus or somewhere like that before the 90 World Cup. But now those are like chicken feed.
Well, to think back, I think we signed David Ginola for something like £3 million.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Although it was a lot, but it's a bargain compared to.
Yeah.
And when we signed Shearer for 50 million, everybody went, "Oh, too much money to." But even that now is like that's like championship transfer fee now. That's what the sort.
Yeah. That's just a bog standard player. That now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Neymar, the Neymar transfer really blew it up.
Yeah. What was it, 200 million or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's no way he's a 200 million player. I tell you what, he's the worst Brazilian I have seen in a number 10 shirt.
Interesting. I mean, you look at the likes of Mbappe and Neymar and Messi as a forward line for PSG. Wow,
fantasy football, isn't it?
You just wouldn't bother turning up, would you?
No, you see, I will just we'll just sit at home and watch Netflix. Forget that, you know. They're going to turn us over. But even I mean, what PSG are doing there, I mean, it's nothing new. What PSG are doing, or what Real Madrid were doing in the early 2000s, you know, with the Galacticos. Do you remember that when they signed Zidane and Figo and Beckham and R9, the other Ronaldo?
Yeah.
I mean, but if you think about it, that team didn't win anything.
No, it didn't.
It entertained, but it didn't win anything.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, you know,
look at the players we had over the years and won out.
Yeah, exactly. I think when it comes to it, I mean, you've watched football for years. A good football team is, as Laurie McMenemy put it, you got to have your road sweepers and your violinists. Got to want, as I like to put it, got to have your craft and your graft in the right mix.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
and it's a bit like youth and experience, isn't it? You've got to get it all mixed up.
That's it. I mean, what the ideal mix is, that depends on the setup at the club. Obviously, every club's different, etc. But you know, that's the ideal football team. But you know, all good in theory, but practice is a totally different, as I say.
Yeah, I mean, looking at West Ham and Aston Villa, you know, I think we started the games pretty lively and looked good, but it just very quickly veered off, and we ended up losing the games. You know, where is this going wrong? Is it fitness? Is it coaching? Is it? Do we even know?
Yeah, and I think another thing is, well, we're very very, what's the word, predictable on the ball, because modern football, as I see it now, is you have to move that ball quicker, get triangles going, you know, and one touch, two touch, you know, any more than two touches and you've had the ball for too long. I mean, that's how, I mean, I know this from listening to a podcast about Pep Guardiola when he does rondo practices with the City, with Man City, etc. He likes it done in a particular way. He wants that ball moved quickly. And we weren't, and that's something I picked up on in the two games, is we are too slow moving that ball around. Yeah. We should be getting that ball moved around quicker. You know, get it to the wings quicker. Get it to St. Maximin quicker, so it, you know, you make things happen. We're just too tippy-tappy. That tippy-tappy football, it worked during Barcelona and Spain and all that, but now it don't work.
I mean, I get the whole building from the back.
Yeah.
But then we'll just sit on the ball in midfield, and it's kind of like, right, move the ball, move. Hello, move. And you just stood there shouting blue murder at the telly or onto the field. Move the ball.
Yeah, get it moved quicker. I even obviously I watch rugby as well, and even rugby, when they're moving it quicker when they're passing it.
Yeah,
it's like when you watch the All Blacks of 2015. They were a joy to watch, because how they were getting that ball from one flank to the other flank in few passes and get down the other end, and it's what City do. Move it quick to you know, move and to get, you know, the opposition back four spread, and that's what. But also the other thing, we ain't got the personnel to do. Well, we do have the personnel to do that if, you know, use the noggin properly, but. Hey ho, you and I aren't coaches. All we got is opinions.
We're just fans.
Yeah,
we're just slowly fans.
Exactly. But fans are entitled to their opinions, and so be it, innit?
Yeah. Looking at also the cup game out in penalties, and something that Bruce said, and I thought, you're just a fucking idiot, you are. He says, well, we've not lost on the night. Well, yes, you have, because you lost on penalties. You daft twat.
Yeah.
You still lost the game, be it on penalties.
Exactly.
But what you've lost is
you've lost
your bloody fans, because they're all going to be paying for your blood now because you've just said that. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you coming out and saying these stupid things in front of the camera and saying we've not lost? Yes, you have.
You have. Exactly. 4-3 on penalties. That's what the record book's going to say. It ain't going to say, oh, just penalties. Game went to penalties. Newcastle unlucky to go out. It's like, Newcastle lost out of the cup. We ain't going through to the next round. Simple as that. Talk in simple terms. Don't say we didn't lose on the night. But no, you did. As I say, you did. You missed your penalties. If you put your penalties away properly, who does? But you missed your penalties and you lost. Simple as that.
But the best thing is what was been said is they were practicing the penalties the night before. And then we had Almiron, whose penalty was really poor. But, St. Max, I've heard people say, well, he did get a slight knock before taking the penalty during the game. But then you can still take a penalty. It doesn't stop you from booting the ball in the back of a net, does it?
Exactly. Getting your laces through the ball and putting it into the back of the net. Exactly. As I say, you can make excuses till the cows come home and all that, but you hold your hand up and say, we missed our penalties, they didn't, we're out. And simple as that, There's too much.
But there is an excuse. There is a very good excuse. We've got Steve Bruce as manager, but there you go.
Yeah, he's the biggest.
That's a big excuse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of these pundits, when I listen to them, the only one I listen to is Roy Keane, because he says it to the point. Everybody shuts up, Everybody has flowers, this and that. But yeah, as I say, going back to Bruce, he should just say, look, we didn't take our chances. We lost. We're out. Unfortunate. I think people would respect him more if he come out with stuff like that rather than, oh, we didn't lose on the night, as you say. Then, that just gets everybody's back up,
Yeah. Well, the only problem is, I wanted to watch the Burnley game, but the only way you could watch it was, listen to it on the radio was the only way. And you just don't get a feel for what's going on, how it's going on. And unless you went or someone else went, to say it, you just don't get the feel for it, do you?
No, I'm on this group. I don't know if you know this. There's a WhatsApp group I'm in. Toon Army India, Newcastle supporters in India. It filled me with pride when I saw that. I thought, good, we do have some supporters overseas, not cardboard Man United or Man City supporters. We've got Toon supporters. I'll tell you what, they get. I think some of them have been over here. They talk a lot of sense in their chat and all that, and they get it, what it's all about. I think they're all IT experts from Bangalore and all that. And I'll tell you what, they come out with some good points, and it's really good chat that they come out with. And they're saying it's, they were upset last night with all the memes and all that, gifs and all that they were sending. But yeah, it was. We were all. Did you see the penalties on Sky Sports News at the end? Did you might have catch
I saw the last 4, I think. It wasn't until someone went, "Oh, the penalties are on Sky Sports News." I was like, "Oh," so I put them on, but they'd already played something like 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I caught the last few on Sky Sports News, and I was as soon as what you call last one was missed. Was it Miggy missed it? I thought that's it. We're out. We're going out. We're not in the draw for the next round. Forget that.
Well, Woodman wasn't very far away from that last penalty. I think he might have kicked himself for missing that, honestly.
Yeah. No, but I think it's the old thing. It's the odds are always going to be against the keeper, aren't they, in a penalty shootout? Well,
it's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose it's 50-50 for both, I suppose.
Yeah. If the keeper saves it, the flip side is, you say, well, that was a rubbish penalty. It was at an ideal height. If the attacker puts it in the net, you think, oh, great penalty. So yeah, it is.
Yeah,
is what it is. But yeah, never mind.
Well, looking forward, what's your thoughts on the upcoming season. Well, the season to be played.
Season to be played.
Where do you see us finishing? Where do you see the points coming from? Is Bruce going to be still manager for the foreseeable?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I think Bruce is it's time in last chance saloon for Bruce. I mean, obviously he is in last chance saloon. He's lost 3 on the trot. Obviously, third one being the cup game. We need a performance on Saturday against Southampton. Will be difficult. Southampton aren't going to be easy because I thought they gave Man United a very good game on the Sunday gone, and they've also got a former protege of ours in Mr. Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get 0 point again, then I worry because it's going to knock players' confidence, etc.
Yeah.
And if it is a case of gets 0 point, then I would, if I was the chairman, I'd say, here's your P45, see you, sunshine. And and if it is, I'm just being, we don't want that to happen. We want the team to do well, but we've seen how they've played these last 3 games, and we do worry. But should the result not go for us on Saturday, now's the time to get rid of him and bring in, be it Eddie Howe or whoever, to try and bring some new ideas into the club, and if Bruce is still in charge, then I worry is the answer to that. I don't want to sound too negative, but it's going to be worrying. It's going to be a cut and paste season, I feel.
So where do you see us finishing?
Right. I'm going to be hopeful here. I'm going to be a bit positive here. I'm going to say a 17th. We just scraped through. Right. I'm going to say a 17th. That's if Bruce is still in charge. I think he might have had his 4-leaf clover or rabbit's foot, whatever he has. But if
he's probably used it last season.
But there again, if, as I say, used it last season, could happen. I mean, okay, we've had a bad start early on. Fair enough. I mean, there's time to put it right. There's still, 36 games to put things right. But need a performance on Saturday. It is the first thing. And another thing, I think they'll exploit our defence on Saturday. Know how they'll have watched videos of it. We can get at these.
And how many goals do you see Callum Wilson scoring?
What, through the season?
Yeah.
Over the season? Provided he stays fit, I think he could get. I think he'll beat last season's total. I think he'd get about 15, 20. I think he could.
Yeah. I was thinking 15.
Yeah, 15, 20.
Honestly,
I
think you'll get a few, but obviously with his injuries and whatever else.
Yeah,
and
that's it. That's the doubt. Is he going to be fit? Because he's one of those, as we all like to say, made of glass, isn't he? So
yeah,
and that's what worries it. And also, is Monsieur Saint Maximin going to stay fit? Because he's another one who's sort of sort of wraps it in when he doesn't feel like playing. He just goes down quicker than a zeppelin when he's not fit. But yeah,
but,
I mean,
and all firing. Yeah.
I like you still keeping the faith, but it's worrying at the minute. That's all like that.
I'm trying. Well, anyway, mate, I'm going to cut it off there because I was only going to do a short one tonight, and it's been a pleasure to have you on. It's been great to chew the fat.
Thank you very much for having me on it, and I would gladly, whenever, come on again, whenever.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah, have you spoken to Al Walid lately? Is he all right?
Yeah, I spoke to him today. He's still iffy a bit, so he's getting better at least.
Yeah. I like nice guy, pure gentleman.
He is genuine guy, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it when I went on his show during the Euros, and after, yeah, nice to see you back, Iceman. Getting some comments coming in there.
I got a couple.
Oh, what the hell? That's good. But
Well,
thank you very
thanks
much.
very much, mate, and I'll try and get you on again.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. Take care, man. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks very much. Good night.
Cheers. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Well, it was very nice to chew the fat with my guest there. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys did as well. Gonna say, as always, I'll eat your Rajis. Good night.